Okay. um. Huh. Okay. So exit. Relaunch. I guess relaunch. I don't know. Okay. Looks like it actually worked that time. I had to like close it out and reopen. Now just whether or not it's gonna launch the game is another story. What's up, Lee? Well, I hope it doesn't take like a minute and a half to launch the game every time. Yeah, man, just sick. Otherwise,
Just starting to start.
start. Oh wow, never would have guessed. Yeah, I think it's the 28th. I think it's the 28th. Sounds about right, I should say. I mean, I should have. I think I should have known that the servers were going to be full. I wonder how many other people are waiting. Like, I wonder what the highest queue position is going to be for the day. Should have like screenshotted it, just out of curiosity. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I mean, it's going down pretty quick. I just really hope it doesn't affect the gameplay. I've watched Big Bang Theory more times than I can count. Have limited time today. I mean, right.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I mean, really didn't expect there not to be a wait, right? We'll just sit here and I've posted my thoughts on the beta for Black Ops 7. It's while we're waiting. The game isn't bad. I mean, people are going to just hate on Call of Duty just because they kind of neglected a large portion of the gamer base for so long, since at least 2019, that everyone just kind of is turned off to them. I think whether the game comes out good or not, you know, studio puts out a decent game, but the fans of the game are already just, they're kind of minds made up, you know. The sad thing is the game is not bad. The game is entertaining. It's just, you know, people are going to say it's bad whether they've played it, whether I didn't run into any issues. I think the open matchmaking will be a win. A lot of people are happy about that. No disbanding lobbies. And yeah, that's, I mean, it's like when one version of the game does well, the other suffers, only because they put the resources. There's so many studios that have to communicate, and one studio wants to do things one way and another one wants to do it another way. It's hard to mesh when you got Treyarch that wants to do one thing, and you know, Infinity Ward wants to do another, and it's like they redo the engine every few years, and you know, it's, people think it's just easy to do that, and it's not. I mean, but the game itself was not bad. It was, I mean, it was a solid beta. Whether people liked it or not, the game played well. There's so much rehashing of, I mean, everything. That's what's tough. People kind of get turned off the lack of content. I mean, we'll join up.
Into battlefield emails. Submit.
Wow, they have accessory mode just enabled at start. I'm gonna have to go in and turn that off. Really?
Menu narration up.
Yeah, off. Thank you. We'll leave subtitles for a minute. Might be turning that off. Color presets. It's a little darker. I kind of like that better. I mean, obviously we're gonna run everything, right? It's coming up to about 115. Why do I have to change? Why do I have to hit the button every time? This is already kind of irritating me. Push to talk, yes. I mean, 3D headphones, is it? Yeah, this is the first time I've ever played a Battlefield. I mean, outside of the beta. I think a lot of Call of Duty players kind of got pushed into this, whether they really wanted to or not, you know? Let's just see. This is where I don't remember any of my settings. We're just gonna, this is what it is.
We called it under control. Until it called our bluff.
Reports coming in of a tragedy
NATO has the Secretary General
has just been assassinated.
NATO's response? Silence. NATO flinched. No response, no respect. And 12 nations walked.
We have lost faith in NATO.
Allow causing countries to abandon the alliance.
Everyone knew he did it.
Pax Armada.
Built just like the military, but doesn't play by their rules.
Shadow armies without oversight.
Okay. Sorry. Not watching it. Okay. So, wow. Featured. Breakthrough was all right, I guess. I mean, a lot of helpful stuff, really. I mean, I gotta. Oh, this is. Oh my gosh. I don't remember any of this. I don't remember. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is bad. Let's just first things first. I don't remember. So I invert my I need to find my setting. Hold on. Did I save these? Tell me I saved them. I don't think I did. Screen thumbnails. Oh no. The Discord somewhere. I don't remember how far back. How far back. When was the beta? Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because I had it pretty solid, and I don't remember any of it. That's a shame. It's okay. Let's just hop in. I have to. I have to change this though. Edit settings buttons. Why can't I go into Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I think I brought this down a little bit. I feel like that was different too. Change that. Son of it's not gonna matter really. Right now I'm just concerned about getting okay, wait a minute. Quick upgrade is hold. I don't know what that is. Oh, oh, you son of a. Slide. Can't you just lean anyway? I want, when I enter, no, I want. Dude, this is like painful. This is the only drawback. I want to tap to reload. I don't want to. Gadget 1. Add to night vision. What? This is wild. All I want to do tap to reload. Interact. Where's interact? Okay. I need. Oh, I just screwed something up. Vehicles, soldier. Oh no, I need my... honestly, I just want my fire and ADS on my bumpers instead of my back. How do I do that? Like, this is wild. What is big map? What set? Scoreboard, hold, toggle inventory. Scoreboard. What? Okay, so this I changed to that. Walk forward, strafe right, straight, look up, down. Okay, wow. Look, it's all right. Flick, look forward. So that's like a... I mean, just have to figure that out and it wouldn't be so bad. What is quick upgrade? I don't know what quick upgrade is. Okay, I'm good with that. Slide is... So did that swap my... What was R2? This game would be better played on keyboard and mouse. 1000%. Like, I can't imagine. So if that's L2, no. I'm gonna make that R2. It's a gadget. That's a ping. It's a gadget. Where's my tactical? It's gotta be another gadget. Wait a minute. What did I set to R2? This is insane. Why is grenade on here like 6 times? What? I don't understand what. Dude. This is beyond crazy. Wow. Okay, so we're just gonna set these. I don't care. Gameplay settings. I mean, vault over sprint, skydive, parachute auto deploy. Yeah, I don't want the camera to roll. Instant sign up. Interact and reload. Prioritize interact. Yes.
Rick, you there?
Dude, these settings are gonna give me an aneurysm.
They have supposedly there's like 600 settings for a PC, but here's what's really fucked up. It's telling me I don't have any of my any of the game installed, like the multiplayer and the campaign, but in the app it's saying it's installed.
Are you on PC?
Yeah.
In the EA app?
Yeah.
So, I had to actually exit out of the EA app and relaunch it.
That means I lose my position in my fucking queue.
In your queue.
Oh my god.
But mine didn't say I didn't have anything installed. Hold on a minute.
That is so fucked.
This is nuts, dude. I'm gonna need like 3 days just to get the settings right.
No shit.
And apparently I can't launch the EA app while in game.
Multiplayer is not installed. Reinstall to begin playing. Are you fucking kidding me?
Did you expand the download options when you went to install the game?
And I'm looking at the install. It says multiplayer. They're all checked. It says no disk space is required.
Huh.
Let me turn off single player and turn on multi. See what that does.
I think I had Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4.
This
For
is
curve
so
setup.
fucked. All right, well, I don't have time for this shit. I gotta figure out if I can figure out what's going on, but I don't know when I'm getting to this today.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I'm just about ready to just it is what it is and try and launch a game just to see how bad the settings are. I mean,
Okay,
it's
so now
there's
it's doing a new download. See if that makes any difference.
I'm already in, so I don't want to back out.
Yeah, same. I don't blame you. So
I'm just usually
all right, well,
I
I'll
can
drop out of Discord for the bit. If I get back on, I'll be on. I got all day tomorrow clear, so I'm definitely gonna be on tomorrow.
All right.
So, all right, man. I'll see you.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Everybody's having the same problems. This is what happens when you get non-Battlefield players trying to play Battlefield. Let's just This is basically just TDM, more or less. Let me make sure. This. Yeah, why not? This is wild. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Brutal is one way of putting it. Let's turn the music down. I'm already over that.
We are securing Charlie.
And that. Movement indicator. Just trying to play. I gotta find the video, to be honest, because it was pretty well explained in the video. Default loadout. It's supposed to do that? Okay, just making sure. I need to pick one. I don't remember it being as frustrating first time. I think there were less settings though, to be fair. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm already getting shot in the back. What the heck? They nerfed some of the movement, that's for sure. Oh, come on.
Medic! Need a medic!
You can ping at least. Okay, so I feel like the linear movement, they definitely changed the movement. Like that guy just obliterated me.
You're gonna be alright! Let's move!
Can I see down here? Oh. I looked away for 2 seconds. Ping. Ping. Okay, once I get this right, it won't be that bad. Oh, that guy just staring inside the window. Good for him. My ADS is different. Or it's not, maybe? I don't know. Oh, that guy's mad. Now I'm mad.
Break, is Bobby coming into the chat? Do you know?
You know what? I don't know. Wow, my screen just went black. That's great. I forgot to mute, actually. I just hopped in case anybody else got on. This guy's ratting out upstairs.
Okay, no, don't worry about it.
What is happening? Spawn. Oh, nice shotgun. Wait, they spawned me into... There's no way that just... The weapon slop is slower. I'm running into walls. I just jumped out of a window. Respawn's kind of weird. Oh wait, we won? Nice. These guys have like full-blown attachments already. Get out of here. Okay. Settings. All right, we're gonna go into. We're gonna go. This. Oh, wrong keyboard. Okay. See if I can try and. Settings for console, no. Ah, yes. I think it was this guy. The exclusive ace. We're going to go through this together.
What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I'm going to be sharing what I consider to be the best controller settings for the Battlefield 6 beta, or at least the best settings that worked for me, and more importantly, in this game, you'll find very quickly the settings are very complex and often very vaguely described as well.
Yep.
And you'll see a very wide range of recommendations depending on people's preferences, so for many, it can be very overwhelming and confusing.
Let me try and turn this up.
This is why I'm not just going to be sharing my settings and getting you to copy and paste them, even though I will be sharing them. Instead, my goal here with this video is to properly explain what these settings actually do, so you can make more informed decisions when you make your own adjustments, which I always recommend doing. I think copying settings from someone like myself can definitely give you a much better starting point to build off of
Yep,
compared to the
that's what I
horrible
did.
default settings in this game, but I strongly suggest you take the time to fine-tune things from there.
So I'm
Now,
gonna
right
I'm
up
gonna
front,
leave
my
this link
preference is
somewhere
more of
because
a
this guy's
snappier feel with the ability to turn around quite quickly if somebody ends up behind me, for instance, without sacrificing control when aiming down sight. The settings that I've landed on feel very close to Call of Duty, and I've actually done the math on this as well, and I've got them dialed in pretty close to what you'd experience in Call of Duty, which I know many of you guys will be looking for. But at the end of the day, this all does come down to preference. Maybe the settings I've landed on that feel more like Call of Duty won't be the settings that you like, and that's totally fine. There are plenty of other people providing different approaches, and a different approach might work better for you, or this might be right up your alley. And with that out of the way, let's dive right into this, and I want to first start this off with the non-controller settings that I would still highly recommend taking a look at and making some adjustments to, just because it'll make the gameplay experience that much better.
Okay.
If we started off in the accessibility tab and scroll down to our camera effects, you want to turn all
Oh,
of these
yeah,
all the way
camera
down or all the way
effects.
off, at least in my opinion. For the most part, these settings are designed to make things look cinematic, but in doing so, you often lose out on vital information with the actual gameplay
Camera
experience.
effects.
And this is why I always turn
Off.
all of these sorts of settings all the way off
Off.
or all the way down, and I recommend you do the same. Then when it comes to gameplay settings, I didn't really adjust anything in here that I can't also adjust in the controller settings, so we're actually going to skip over gameplay settings and dive right into the
Wait
controller
a minute.
settings here.
All right, hang on a
And the
second.
first thing
Let's go back.
is my button layout. I like using a tactical layout in Call of Duty. They call that an... This is why I always turn all of these sorts of settings all the way off or all the way down, and I recommend you do the same. Then when it comes to gameplay settings, I didn't really adjust anything in here that I can't also adjust in the controller settings, so we're actually going to skip over gameplay settings and dive right into the controller settings here. And the first thing is my button layout. I like using a tactical layout in Call of Duty. They call that an alternate layout in Battlefield. And what this does is it just swaps your crouch or slide button with your melee button. So you're going to be crouching and sliding with R3 rather than circle. And I just find that gives you more control over your movement without having to take your thumb off of your aiming analog stick. Next, something I notice is when you set this, it actually doesn't let you slide by using the R3 button right away. So with this, you want to go to Edit Presets, Edit Button Mapping, and then you'll have to scroll down to the slide button and manually map this. It will say it's overwriting something. That's totally fine as long as slide as well as crouch and prone are attached to the R3 as well. That will give you that tactical layout feel from Call of Duty. And while we're here in this button mapping, something else I'd recommend switching from the default alternate settings is your ping button, which is incredibly useful in Battlefield. You definitely want to be using your ping button as much as possible to mark enemies and tanks.
Yeah, I
and
changed that.
positions. And by default, it's mapped to L1, which is really awkward if you're aiming down sight using L2. So I actually like switching this over to R1, and then that will overwrite your grenade throw, which is R1 by default. So then I just make sure I manually map that one to L1. So I do swap those two around. Then we want to go into edit settings here. And something I haven't mentioned yet, we're just focusing on infantry settings today. Those are the most important, in my opinion at least. I might go deeper into vehicle settings and stuff like after launch, but for now, just infantry settings. And we're going to modify here. And right at the top of the list, we have our infantry aim sensitivity. This is your base default sensitivity that most of the settings here. And something I haven't mentioned yet, we're just focusing on infantry settings today. Those are the most important, in my opinion at least. I might go deeper into vehicle settings and stuff like after launch, but for now, just infantry settings. And we're going to modify here. And right at the top of the list, we have our infantry aim sensitivity. This is your base default sensitivity that most of the settings from here on out will be based on. And for me, I like going fairly high here. This scale is very different from Call of Duty scale, even at a 70
I think that was
sensitivity,
at like
which is fairly high in
65.
this game. That's going to be a little bit slower than what you'd experience with a more low or moderate sensitivity. Keep in mind, in Black Ops 6, for instance, I like a 1.65 sensitivity, which is, again, a moderate sensitivity, but in this game, I like 70, which is a little on the higher side, and this allows you to spin around reasonably quickly in those situations where somebody suddenly sneaks up behind you, for instance. Obviously, this one is going to be highly preference-based, so absolutely tune from there. But I would say don't be afraid to get a little bit higher up with this value. We'll make adjustments for fine control as we go. Then when it comes to field of view, I like 105. This is just a nice sweet spot for me, so that's where I like to keep that. And next, let's talk about uniform infantry aiming, or uniform soldier aiming is what they call it in Battlefield 2042. This is one of the most confusing settings here, especially for Call of Duty players, because Call of Duty doesn't have a setting like this at all. And without this setting, or if you turn this setting off, the higher the zoom level of your optic, the slower your aim is going to feel, assuming all else is equal and you haven't adjusted any like per zoom multipliers or anything like that. And that means if you have a red dot and you try to do a 360, you're going to be doing that 360 so much faster than a sniper scope, like a 6x sniper optic, for instance. That's going to be painfully slow relative to a red dot. And what this means is, without this setting, you'll often find that your sensitivity feels really good with a red dot sight, but then the moment you try to snipe, now your aim is moving so slow left to right that you can't even track targets that are running perpendicular to you, even though you'd have no problem doing that if you're using the red dot sight. And in order to fix this in Call of Duty, you'd have to go through each zoom sensitivity multiplier and adjust those manually. And that gives you that level of control, but uniform aiming is designed to solve this issue by making that automatic adjustment to your sensitivity based on the zoom level. So it's doing the math for you here. And the higher you go with this value, the more relative boost you get with a higher sensitivity value. So a really high value means that when you use a sniper optic relative to a red dot, it's going to feel a lot faster than if you had a very low value with this zoom sensitivity coefficient. Now, the default coefficient is set to 133. This was based off of Counter-Strike from way back in the day, since I believe they introduced this feature for the first time. And that's back when a lot of people are using a 4x3 display, and 4 divided by 3 will give you roughly 133. So what I've seen a lot of people recommend is to adjust this to account for a 16:9 ratio, which is the aspect ratio that almost everybody is playing on these days. And in order to get that value, 16/9 gives you 177.7 repeating, or 177.8. So if you want that perfectly adjusted to your aspect ratio, that's the value you want to go with. But I've seen a lot of people state this as if there's a right or wrong answer, and you absolutely must put it on this value if you're on a 16:9 monitor. And that couldn't be further from the truth. This is absolutely a value you should adjust based on your own preferences. And while it's a good starting point to work off of, if you find that your aim feels really good with a red dot sight, but then you try to snipe and you still feel like your aim sensitivity is just a bit too slow and you can't track targets with a sniper rifle very well, then feel free to bump this value up. It'll increase that relative sensitivity value for you, and that may feel way better. Or on the flip side of that, if you find that red dot aiming feels good, but then sniping with a 6x feels way too fast and you just feel like you don't have enough control with that, then drop this value. There's nothing wrong with making those adjustments. This isn't a set in stone value, but it'll give you a good place to work from. Now, in saying all of this, I wanted to make sure I explain properly what this uniform infantry aiming does, since it is one of the big questions that people have when looking at these sensitivity values. At the end of the day, funny enough, I turn this off. I come from Call of Duty where we don't have access to this. My muscle memory is based around Call of Duty, and I'm assuming for many of you watching this video, it will be the same. And therefore, I like making the fine adjustments for myself rather than having this system try to do that for me. And we'll get much deeper into those adjustments in just a little bit.
That might be one of those things we adjust later on.
First off, we have just infantry aim assist. And this is essentially your rotational aim assist that you would see in Call of Duty, although not quite as strong. I'd recommend just keeping this at 100. Then when it comes to our aim assist slowdown, same thing as aim assist slowdown in Call of Duty. So as you sweep your aim across a target, it will effectively slow your sensitivity as you're sweeping across that bubble. And then we have zoom snapping, which is something that Call of Duty multiplayer doesn't have and has never had. However, you will see it featured in Zombies and Campaign for Call of Duty. But with this, the way it works is if you aim down sight close to but not on an enemy player, this will snap to that enemy player for you. And the higher the value, the stronger that snap is going to be. And I'm personally not a big fan of this, at least not at 100. I find that snaps a little bit too harshly. It really grabs my aim, and I often find that I end up fighting this a bit too much. So initially I did start with this completely off, but I have since adjusted that a little bit. I brought it back up to 30. 30 gives you that little bit of a helping hand to get you on target, but it's not nearly as aggressive as if you have this maxed out. Obviously, this does come down to preference. Some of you guys want this to snap super hard to target, and that's totally fine. But for me, 30 seems to be a good place.
What if you were prepared for all those interview curveballs?
Bad.
Then after that, let's have a look at our aiming input curves. And we have various options, but they just state what they were in older Battlefield games, which obviously isn't helpful if you haven't played the older Battlefield games.
Right.
However, Battlefield 2042, in their settings, they have a lot of the same settings here, and they show us what these curves look like. So here they are. And for the most part, they're all very similar. They're all exponential curves aside from linear, meaning that when you move your stick a little bit, your aim moves a little bit. And as you increase, it doesn't increase how much your aim is moving linearly, it will accelerate the more you deflect your stick. Now, the exponential curve is what you would see with the standard response curve in Call of Duty. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they have anything that replicates the dynamic response curve or a
Nothing
reverse
dynamic.
S curve. So
That's
if
a
you
shame.
use dynamic in CODs, you're kind of out of luck on this one. What I found here is if I just leave these on standard, I can make adjustments for myself that makes this feel a bit more like dynamic, a little bit more snappy. So that's where I've landed with these. Realistically, even if you make adjustments, they're going to be very subtle adjustments for most of them.
Right.
Now let's get into aiming left, right acceleration. This one is a bit confusing and kind of counterintuitive. And what this means is the higher your acceleration value, the slower your acceleration is going to be. The longer it's going to take for your sensitivity to ramp up as you're turning. Whereas the lower you go with this, the snappier things are going to feel, but that'll also give you the feeling of a bit less control if you're just trying to make really fine adjustments. And for me, what I've found for a nice snappy feel that doesn't sacrifice that fine control is 60. 60 feels like the sweet spot in my eyes. If that feels a little too snappy and you want a bit more control, increase that value a bit. If it doesn't feel snappy enough, reduce that value a little bit and go from there. But I wouldn't recommend going too far off this value unless it just really feels good to you. Now after that, we'll scroll all the way down here to our vertical aim ratio. And we also have vertical zoom ratio if you have uniform aiming turned off. And with this is basically the ratio between your vertical and horizontal sensitivity values. And once again, this does depend on the aspect ratio of the monitor that you're using. Again, the vast majority of you will be using a 16:9 monitor, meaning the math on this is 9/16, which gives you 56.25, or we'll round up here to 56.3. And that will give you a consistent sensitivity value between vertical and horizontal sensitivity. So in Call of Duty, for instance, if you set your vertical and horizontal values exactly the same all the time, then this is the value I'd recommend going with. However, for many people, they tend to like having a slower vertical sensitivity value compared to horizontal due to the fact that you rarely need to sweep your aim up and down as often or as quickly as you would have to with left or right. And therefore, it's totally fine to go lower than this value. But I would say, while it is preference-based at the end of the day, it would be very strange to go above this value. Now after that, we have our infantry zoom aim sensitivity value. So when you aim down sight, regardless of the optic you're using, how much is this going to be reducing your sensitivity? Keeping in mind, even if you have this set at 100, there will be a reduction, but I like setting this down to 80 for a further reduction there. That means, again, I can have a fairly high sensitivity and turn quickly when hip firing, but the moment I aim down sights, now it really slows my sensitivity and gives me that fine control. And 80 felt like a good start, but then I take things further with my individual zoom aim sensitivity values. But before we get into that, we do have our zoom transition sensitivity smoothing value. And if you have this off, that means the moment you start aiming down sight, you get your aim down sight sensitivity. If you have it on, it will gradually reduce your sensitivity from your hip fire sensitivity to your aim down sight sensitivity while you're in the process of aiming down sight. Which I think for most people, that's what they're comfortable with. Also, if you are using...
Yeah, we want instant, so I think we have to... turn this off. And that goes to standard. Which then should give us this. Now, drop this. I think I dropped this way down just so it slows down. I think I did like 75 all the way up till 2x. Once we went over that, went a little higher.
Uniform aiming, it will automatically gradually do that. You don't have the option to turn this off. But for me, I do keep this one on. And now let's talk about our individual zoom aim sensitivity values. And this is how I like to...
We're gonna drop these. Yeah, that looks to be about right. I mean, for multiplayer, yeah. Instant side up combo peak. I don't need gyro. Huh. Okay. So let's
set
see
it
what
up.
else we
For
missed
anything
here.
from a 1x to a 2x zoom, I go with a 75. And keep in mind, this also works on top of the infantry aim zoom sensitivity. But what I found is combining 80 with 75 with a red dot, that will give you roughly the same ratio that you would experience with a 0.75 ADS multiplier in Call of Duty, which is what I use, as the default slowdown isn't quite as harsh as what you experience by default in Call of Duty here. So that's why I like the combination of those values, and that's what works best for me up until a 3x zoom, and at that point I just want to increase it slightly so I have a little more control there. And then the moment I get up above a 5x zoom, when I'm looking at like sniper scopes, this is where I increase this value, because if I don't, if I have this less than 100 or at 100, then I often find that I can't track those targets that are moving perpendicular, which again is a downside of not having that universal aim setting on, but this is why we just adjust that manually. This now gives me the ability to make those quicker tracking movements with a sniper rifle without completely losing out on precision. Obviously, you can adjust it even more to your liking, and it's what I'm comfortable with in Call of Duty, and therefore that's what I'm comfortable with in Battlefield. I've done a lot of testing with this, and it feels just right for me. Now, outside of that, I just keep all of these values exactly the same. And then getting back into the controller theme setting, you definitely want to scroll all the way to the bottom. I can't believe they kept this hitting toward the bottom, because these are some of...
Let's see if it's still down here. Joystick, yep. Controller tuning. Okay. Right off the bat, take that off.
The most important stats to pay attention to here. With this, I turn vibration off. It's a preference thing, but I just find the vibrations to be an unnecessary distraction. They don't really do anything for me that audio doesn't already do, so I just keep those off. Then when it comes to our left stick, or our movement stick values, for my dead zone, I drop that down to a 2. And my axial dead zone, I set that to a 10 for my left stick. And I'll explain axial dead zone a little bit when we talk about the right stick more. As for our max input threshold, for the movement stick, I like dropping this a little bit, just because it feels a bit more responsive then for movement. I don't have to deflect my stick all the way to get technically maximum deflection.
Yep,
and when it comes to movement, usually you just want maximum deflection. And therefore, we get to that maximum deflection a little bit faster when we lower this value. So I just dropped it down to 80. Now let's talk about right stick, which is our aiming stick. This one is more important. Our center dead zone, once again, I set that at 2. It does depend on how much stick drift you may or may not have on your controller, but for me, 2 works well. And our axial dead zone here, I set at 8. And just to explain what the axial dead zone is for anybody that's unfamiliar, this essentially determines how much you lock yourself into either straight vertical or straight horizontal aiming when sweeping your aim left or right or up or down. If you have a very high value for your axial dead zone and you try to do a 360, for instance, this will keep you essentially perfectly locked on a horizontal plane. There will be no up or down movement whatsoever with your aim, whereas when you set this value really low, you'll find that even if you try to keep that perfect horizontal plane to do a 360, your aim is going to be drifting upward or downward with any slight deflection with your stick. And in my opinion, going too high or too low with this value can feel really bad, because many times you want to make that perfect horizontal
if you're good at centering, that's actually
and that's just
really
not going
good
to be
setting.
possible if the value is set too low. But at the same time, if you go too high, it feels like you're really restricted and locked, and it can kind of feel like the controller is fighting you when you're trying to make some fine adjustments. So this is why I would generally recommend falling somewhere between the 5 to 15 range on this. That's probably going to be the range that works best for the vast majority of players out there. Like I said, for me, I like an 8, but anywhere in that range should be good for you. And there we go. Those are the controller settings that I found work best for me and feel the most like Call of Duty. And I found a lot of success with this in Battlefield 2042 when playing around with this. And then obviously I did a bunch of testing this morning.
Okay, we're gonna roll with this and see. Oh, oh. Okay, so right off the bat, I realized we want our grenade to R2, and we want our gadget 1 to. Okay, that's what we'll do. So back to settings. Back to mapping. We're gonna go all the way down. We're gonna change that to this. Oh. Oh no. And change that to that. And that becomes this. What else did I have set to R2? Okay, that's okay. Ping. I'm good with that being ping. Um, what is... Okay. So that's brutal. Okay. Just kills your mobility. Change that. Okay, so we just have to work our way up. It's easy enough. Right. I'll believe that. I think at this point we just play and try and all right. I just joined. Nope. Okay, control feels a little bit better. Are we, how's this gonna work here? Oh, it's not even, I can't open the door that way? I know I saw the guy there, just decided the other ones were more important. Shotgun. Holy. Okay. Feel a little better. This is... Wait, was that somebody rezzing? Just missed every shot. Oh, thanks for joining me mid-round. It's great. No, I don't want to stay with squad. Try again. Wait a minute. Like, there's no way. Where's the it's footstep audio? Nowhere to be found. Wow. No, from where? What, this guy really sitting up there?
I need a medic! Need a medic!
Come on, somebody can get me.
Need a medic!
Hurry. Wow. Tried. Dude, what? Hold on a minute. What is that guy? They came back. You gotta hop over like a little curb. Okay. It's not Call of Duty. Dude, what? The spawns are bad. Spawns are really bad. Spawns are really bad. Empire State. Huh. This actually is a decent mode in order to kind of get used to the game before you get into big map. Wait, how? Oh, you. Spawns are terrible. Why would you put me there? Literally just died there. Dude, I'm so bad. This guy's crouch walking around the scaffolding. Serious? How? How? Dude. Oh, goodness. Why? This is... And they spawned me right where I died. That's incredible. See, like... What is this guy using?
I need a medic! I got... Come on! Throwing frag! Hold on! What do you have with that? Here's some ammo! Get down!
No. Why did I stop shooting? Of course. Can't mantle. Spawns are really bad. Give that a go. Yet. Wait, what? I waste all that time running around a map to get blown up by a claymore. It's fantastic. around. Those shots definitely didn't miss.
I'm fucking hit!
Drag me out. Okay. It's not. Over here. Am I going the right way? I don't know this map. Going away from everybody. Just went in a giant circle. Oh my gosh. I had no chance. Oh, my shotgun. Should have got the shotgun out. No audio till last second. That sucks. Excuse me. How?
My fucking stomach hurt. Guess if I hurt, I had to set up a fucking sniper for that.
Dude, nice shotgun. God, you're such a piece of shit. How? But mine doesn't do anything? Okay. How? Confused, to be honest. Dude, how many people are shooting at me? I saw 2, not 4. That guy just saw me coming. What? Spawns were a little better this game. This guy's got spring mines fucking everywhere. What's up? Nervous. Spawn's not so great. Okay. Come on, come back. Good shots. I didn't mean to send that message, whatever that was. Oh, I'm dead. see. Can't see anything. Hit marker. Yep, got time to reload and just, you know, kind of hang out. Bum, bum. Oh. See you. Where? Can't hear. Yeah, I knew it. Oh. What? Oh, ass. Wait. Why is everybody just sitting in buildings? Is this how Battlefield like always is? It's not how it always is, right? Why would they spawn me right above somebody? Goodness. I don't like this scope. How do you dive? I remember this guy's sitting in the spawn. Spawns are awful. What? That didn't miss. It's just this, I don't know. Or a turn period. You can't see. There's almost too much going on in order to like see anything. That wasn't even close. Man, I don't know. Oh, I like that one better. $20 to 40 minutes? Like, jeez. I don't know. Oh, I didn't hit start. Oops. This might be the last one. Ow. Am I gonna sit over here? That's why I don't res. Don't ask for a res in TDM. Where is this guy? Yes. What? Ah. How? This is... I tried to drop shot. Seriously? Oh, run. That didn't miss. There's no way. Headshots mean nothing. The entire team. The entire team spawned behind me. That really would just happen. Dude, I don't get this game. I don't get it. What? I'm getting shot right after spawn. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Dude, the spawns on this game are absolute trash. I just quit the game.